Hello friends, it's Jen with Bohemian Path Tarot, and I've got a pick-a-pile reading for you. Just 3 piles today. We've got pile number 1 with the fluorite. We've got pile number 2 with the amethyst, and pile number 3 for the rose quartz. Just take a moment and determine which pile you're attracted to. We're using the Light Seer Tarot today in all of the piles. I'm going to timestamp the piles below, so feel free to jump ahead to the pile that is calling you, and I'll see you there. Hello, pile 1 people with the fluorite. Let's see what we've got. 9 of Swords, Queen of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. Okay. Just want to make sure you see this. So the 9 of Swords indicates a time when you're kind of overthinking a challenge or a challenging situation. It's being kind of stuck in that repetitive cycle of worry, of concern, of feeling stuck, not knowing a solution or how to fix something. Sometimes there's an element of shame here. And I just want to say, not to dismiss your concerns or worries, but a lot of what you're experiencing right now is what's happening in your own mind. It's something you're doing to yourself. If you're experiencing shame about a situation, not to dismiss what you're feeling, but it's the truth of how someone else experienced it or what someone else is thinking about it isn't the same as what you're projecting in your mind. This card reminds you to be gentle with yourself, to consciously unplug from the programming or that repetitive thought process that is keeping you stuck, keeping you from having the courage to find a solution or move forward. Again, I don't want to dismiss this challenge, but it is one that is being amplified by your own thoughts. And the solution or the way through it is actually easier than what you fear. And we see this in the next card, the Queen of Swords. The Queen of Swords is a confident character who is discerning, who knows when to cut out something that isn't working, when to move away from something that isn't working. She knows how to present an argument or an idea or an invitation in a way that it's heard by the recipient or the audience. She's good at crafting her message so that it lands in a way that's beneficial for all concerned. So in contrast to this card, which is being sort of stuck in thoughts that are not helpful and not solution-oriented, this card reminds you that you have the capacity to let go of what isn't working, to accept a loss, if that's what it is, or to make an invitation or recraft a conversation, an idea, a communication, so that your side is understood by the party that needs to hear it. So this could come in the form of you presenting an apology, or just clearing the air with a communication to clarify a situation or an encounter or a misunderstanding. The Queen of Swords, no matter your gender, the Queen of Swords can cut out what is not working and can clarify and communicate what she needs to get things back on track. Now, the final card we have here is a Three of Pentacles. I find this happens more with work situations where a job you're doing, either, in a regular office setting, call center, regular 9 to 5 kind of situation, or if you're a part of the gig economy where you're a freelancer, that sort of thing. This card suggests positive recognition that you are doing well in the role or with the skill that you are serving, providing, selling. And you're getting a little bit of recognition from other folks. So for regular 9 to 5ers, this could be something like recognition, an award, a congratulatory, your boss buys you lunch or something like that. This could be more sales, more commissions, something along those lines. For people who are freelancers or in the gig economy, this is getting another gig, word of mouth, getting more clients through word of mouth, more followers on social media, that sort of thing. If you're not in a traditional sort of job, maybe you're retired, this can also come up to indicate a club or an association that you're with, like maybe you're with a knitting club, or maybe you volunteer, or with a Rotary Association, something like that. You're recognized by your peers as a talented person, as a skilled person, and it kind of creates more success, this recognition. This could also happen for students, like you get a good grade, or your teacher recommends that maybe you could be a mentor or a teacher's assistant, something like that. Being on the dean's list, it could be along those lines. So even though this pile started in kind of a sad, confused, maybe self-torturing kind of place, this pile is suggesting you have the capacity to reach out and make an apology or make your needs known, or clear up a misunderstanding and clarify a situation. And it may well be at work or something to do with work, your job, the gig economy. It could have to do at school if you're a student, clearing something up, or catching up with your homework if maybe you were late on an assignment or misunderstood an assignment, something like that. This is getting back on track and presenting a winning assignment, service, job that leads to more clients or accolades or some kind of validation. So I hope that's helpful for you, Pile 1 Fluorite people. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take good care. Hello, Pile 2 Amethyst people. Let's see what we've got. 5 of Cups. The Star. And the Hierophant. There we go. A little bit of glare. Sorry about that. Wow. Okay, so starting with the 5 of Cups. This is a phase when you're feeling a lack of satisfaction, maybe even indulging in a sort of malaise, feeling a disappointment about a loss. You can see it in the art of the 5 of Cups in most versions. There is a few cups that seem to be, sorry about that, that are spilt, that are turned over. And usually the central character is ignoring what's left, or the cups that are still filled. In this particular version, she's kind of, I don't know if you can see it, but she's kind of tipped over one cup, or, kicked it over herself. So sometimes this feeling comes after maybe a phase of being unable to share yourself fully, or sharing too much of yourself too quickly, having expectations about a connection or an emotional situation. And maybe there's a little embarrassment or a little shame about what occurred, or what was lost or damaged. But the thing is, inherent in this card is the idea that there's still something left. So it might not be exactly what you had hoped for, or in the manner you expected it to evolve, or even the package you expected, that your sort of satisfaction, your sort of emotional satisfaction to come in. There is still something to build on here. So this can come for relationships, of course, like if you've experienced a breakup, or some sort of argument, or you're taking a time out, something like that. It could be something that just did not work out the way you wanted it to, and now you're feeling a little bereft about how to move forward. If there's someplace else, you can pin your hopes on, or something like that. The Five of Cups wants you to remember that even if it feels crummy right now, there is still something available for you to build on. There is still a way for you to return to a sense of stability within vulnerability, within your emotional connections. But it's just going to come in a different package, or in a different timing than what you were hoping for. Now, this is echoed even more dramatically in the star, in terms of the staying hopeful and staying open to new encounters, to green lights, and to a universe that has your back. The star is very much a card of, good things are on the horizon. Keep following your star. Keep being true to your hopes and aspirations. Again, there's very much this Aquarius energy in the star, that it might come in a different sort of package. You might have to think outside of the box, or be willing to open your mind to something new, something you hadn't considered. But it's definitely keeping your heart open to return to, a sense of sort of emotional satisfaction, emotional sharing, and openness. I like the little swirlies that are happening between these two cards. I don't know if you can see the swirl below in the Five of Cups, and the sort of swirling up into the light. There is something higher, something brighter that is on the horizon, as long as you keep hopeful. Now, you might find that here again. Look where the light is in this card. It's at the very top. And this character, this Hierophant, is typically a teacher, or a muse, or a guru, someone who has knowledge and wisdom. There's also a community aspect to this card, connecting with a community like a church, or even like the Rotary Club, a volunteer organization. Sometimes it's even something like a theater group, where there's a director who is very inspiring, or you get to work on a project that that is very enlightening. So for those of you who are maybe mourning a change in a relationship or a loss of a relationship, this could indicate that a new relationship or a new option or some kind of remedy is found in a group or an association, a club, a school, a spiritual community, something like that. Maybe not with the guru or the leader, teacher, whoever this character is, but in a place where you're meeting like-minded folks for self-improvement or for the improvement of your community. So let's review. Even though we start with some sort of disappointment or sense of loss, there is still something to build on, even if it isn't exactly what you had hoped for or had anticipated. The universe has your back and wants you to stay hopeful and stay open, maybe even open your mind and your heart to new adventures or options that maybe you hadn't considered, that maybe you hadn't even thought of before. To stay open to signs and synchronicities. And you may feel a stronger sense of connection, community, even emotional openness and availability. A place to share your depths might be found in a club or an association, a spiritual group or community, a volunteer community, something, an artistic community or collaborative endeavor. So, pile 2 people, Amethyst Club. I hope you found this reading helpful. I hope it gives you some encouragement, some support. In any case, keep on keeping on. Stay hopeful, stay open. Thank you so much for joining me today. Take good care. Okay, rose quartz people, let's see what we have. Pile 3 is the 8 of Wands, the Magician, the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, you guys. Okay, so the 8 of Wands indicates a time where there is a lot of energy flowing to you. This is a time where, you know, all the effort, all of the energy, all of the invitations, all the times you've put yourself out there, that you've put a resume out there or auditioned or interviewed or maybe even swiped right, is it? Or, you know, sent a wink or a nudge or whatever on a dating app. This is when the energy comes back to you, and it comes fast and furious. This is the seeds you've planted for stuff you want to bloom in your garden, and here it is. Sorry about that plane overhead. This is the stuff you want coming back at you. The seeds you've planted are starting to grow. But seeds isn't even like a great metaphor, because this is much faster. This is electronic, right? So there's going to be messages in your DMs, in your email. Check your voice messaging, check all of that stuff, because you're going to have some invitations or some responses to your invitations coming, and a lot of them, and you don't want to miss a single one. Now, the next card we have is the Magician, who is, of course, the major manifester of the tarot. But the thing about the Magician is, it's not just about, you know, hoping and dreaming and lighting a candle and putting intent. The Magician also puts practice in, puts legwork in, puts effort in. So this actually is a card reminding you not just to work on your manifestation mojo, but also to practice. So if it's a skill like you're you want to join a band, you practice your guitar riffs or whatever. If you are wanting to join a particular program at school, you may have to educate yourself a little more, or prepare potential questions to defend your thesis. This is the card of practice, of rehearsal, as much as it is about, manifesting. It is believing in your talents enough to keep practicing, to keep rehearsing, and to put that kind of polish on it, that razzle dazzle, so that when you're called, when all of these invitations are coming in, you are ready for the show. You are ready for your moment. And finally, whatever you've manifested, whatever you've been working on, whatever seeds you planted that are coming back at you in terms of messages and invitations, the final outcome here is this Queen of Pentacles, and she is very comfortable in what she has accomplished, in what she has earned. She is a sensual character who is very comfortable in her environment because she has succeeded in other areas to provide for her own comfort. So this is a very potent, very clear reading here that things that you have worked towards are now finding root and finding their way to you to demonstrate your capacity, your skills, your strengths, and the success leads to a real sense of comfort and ease in your own self, in your own body, in your own environment. So I hope that is helpful to you, inspiring to you, Pile 3 people. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Take good care.